gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades. Gas masks and hand grenades.
What is happening, YouTube? It is Gas Masks and Hand Grenades. I'm your host, Jeff. Who I got here, man? I finally did it. I wrangled the cats up. I herded the cats, and the cats are here. We are on location. We had some issues getting started. My laptop didn't want to work with the Wi-Fi, but we're all cool now. We think, we hope. So hopefully people are out there watching, and I got to pull up the comment section. But hopefully we got people watching out there. They'll tune in and check out the first location live stream. This is we are at. Do you want to say where we're at? We're in Columbia, Pennsylvania, which is I don't really care about that. Nobody comes here, but it's a cool little town, man. It's crazy story here. I was born here back in 1966.
Nice.
So I'm kind of an old fucking dude, right? But I was born right up on the hill up there where I think the LGH blood lab is now at that hospital there. And it's weird because I moved around and lived all kinds of different places. Houston, Texas, came back to Lancaster, lived in Lidditz, lived in Atlantisville, went to Hempfield High School with your mom. And
I went there too.
Yeah, did you really? Okay.
Yeah, Hempfield.
Cool. And yeah, so it's way bigger than when we were there.
Totally.
I mean, it's like fucking 3 times the size. But and by the way, you guys can swear, so no problem with that.
Fucking shit.
There you go.
I just want to say,
although I am monetized now, so I'll be demonetized. But who cares? So anyway, listen. Let's. This is Medusa's Disco, and I've been raving about these dudes since I caught up with them in December when they played a local gig, which they don't do a lot, and we'll get into that in a little bit here. But how about we introduce ourselves first, and I'll tell you how I came by you guys. Cool. And then we'll get into a history of the band, and then we'll just we'll riff off that and see where we go. And you guys let me know your timelines because I can talk. I'm sure you guys all can talk, so you just let me know when you got to cut it, and we'll cut it. So we'll start with this guy right here.
Yo, how's it going, guys? I'm Justin Wolfile. I played bass in the band for the past 5 years, and also do the engineering on the records. And
backing vocals
live. Yep. That's me.
Yeah.
I am this dude is Hunter Root, and I play guitar and sing.
He does, man. He's good too. You're all good.
Thank you.
This guy here is the guy that I kind of roped into making this happen, because when I saw him back in December, I started yakking at him. I'm like, dude, you got to come on my podcast. You got to come, And it's like I started throwing all the big names at you, man. I'm like, hey, this dude's been on. That dude's been on. I've had some cool fucking people.
That's right.
Got some very cool people coming up too. So I do know people in the biz, kind of, sort of, mostly metal, but not all, because I love all kind of weird stuff, like fucking Sisters of Mercy. You guys know these?
I know about them.
Okay, kind of like goth, dark goth, like synthy, really cool shit. And so I bugged you, and I'm like, let's make this happen. It took us a while, but I was being persistent. I was like, man, I don't want to be a dick, but I'm gonna be a dick. That's how I make it work.
Yeah. Oh no, it was fine. We really wanted to do this too. So.
And who are you, sir?
Oh, I am Alex Hammond, and I play drums.
He does.
You sure do.
This guy is fucking great on the drums.
It's true, he is.
And I gotta say, man, seriously, okay, so my origin story on you guys is I started to tell you, I saw you tell us back in, I want to say it was 15, maybe 16. It was a while back. And the way I found out was
that's 3 years into us.
It was, you were pretty new. Yeah, Beautiful Creatures out, which I have.
At least 15. Yeah.
15 years?
Well, no, at least the year.
15 years.
Yeah.
Well, you guys had just done some sort of live thing. It was like a live in studio EP thing.
I wonder if it was
it was either Bravo or the Max J thing. They did my variety show a
Okay.
live thing.
Okay.
That was a CD.
But I know this,
The Brava
like
thing, too.
Tellus was new. Tellus was fairly new. It hadn't been there maybe a year or two at most.
We did Prava before yours, right?
I think
It was
so.
probably that.
No. Brava was Otherwise and stuff. That was
Yeah.
way after.
Was it?
Yeah.
it was.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
the
it
Max J was the
it
first
was.
time
Yeah,
Life
yeah.
Cause Cancer was ever played live.
Yeah.
And it was just
That's when we first changed our name to Medusa Disco.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the story though. Let me set the stage. So I get called by this woman that I'm sort of seeing, and her kid knows me, and he's like, man, Jeff would love this band, man. Like because I'm a musician and I've been in bands and mainly singing and playing guitar too, but I just love good fucking live bands and good music, right?
Hell yeah.
And so I went kind of like, it's probably gonna be some shitty band, but I'll just go and hang out with her. And I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Nice.
What the fuck, these guys? And what always sticks with me is Dead Man. Like that song always sticks with me.
Hell yeah.
Because it's so fucking weird.
It
you
is.
know, it's
That's
such
weird.
a weird, cool tune that, and your voice is just, anyways. So I grabbed the CD, and then after the show, I talked to you, and I was telling you I told you that I used to do promo, and I ran and developed the street team for Porcupine Tree.
Okay.
And Stephen Wilson, that connection right there. So, I mean, I know those guys. In fact, Stephen's coming on very shortly next week.
That's dope.
He's
the man.
Pretty big dude, right? So, long story short, I came up to you, and I probably had a beer or two, and I'm like, hey, man, I know these people, and I think I can hook you up. And you're just looking at me like, who's this freak? Probably something like that. But it was cool as hell. And so that was the first time I saw you. And then I didn't catch you again until probably 18 or 19 when my daughter was home from college, and she's like, Dad, I want to see this band Medusa's Disco. She's saying this to me. She's like, I want to see this band Medusa's Disco, and they have this killer singer named Winton and this other killer singer named Hunter, and it's just so cool. And I'm like, babe, I've already seen it. She's like, of course you have.
Yeah.
You know all the shit like this. So
That's hilarious.
I took her out to see it.
Great dynamic.
Yeah. Oh, my daughter is like, well, actually, I got a little surprise. She might be stopping at the very end to say hi to you guys because she's a big fan, particularly of your solo stuff. She really loves that shit. So,
sweet.
And you've actually talked to her. You don't know it, but you have in, I don't know whether it was Instagram or something like that. You guys spoke a bit, and she is fucking amazing.
Awesome.
I gotta after we're off here, you gotta hear some of her stuff. So that's how I came to you guys, and I think I've seen you 5 times.
Nice.
But when did you come in? What year again?
2018, end of that. Like 2019 is technically when I joined the band, but yeah.
Okay, so I know I saw you guys in 19 at the Chameleon. So you would have been in, and it was like a December show. It was like right before Christmas, if I remember.
Honestly, I think that might have been the last time we ever played there. It was like January, I think.
It might have been early January. You're right.
Do you remember
right
that?
after Christmas, actually.
Yeah.
So that kind of went by, and then I don't even know. Like, no offense, guys. Like, I'm living life, and I'm an old dude, and I don't go out and party much anymore. I don't go drinking or anything like that.
Same.
And so, but you're not an old dude though. But that's good that you don't go out and do that. It's smart.
None of us do.
Yeah, no,
that's smart. You don't want to be like me when I was young your age, man, because I got into a lot of trouble. But I saw you guys were playing Phantom, and I had been out to Phantom in September to see the Mission UK and the Chameleons, which was a fucking killer show. And I liked that venue. It was like, man, this is a really cool little what they did here.
Yeah.
And it used to be a theater way back when I was in college over in Roseville. And I came out and I was just fucking blown. Well, first of all, I was blown away because I guess I kind of knew that Winton had left, but I didn't really know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get into that a little bit delicately. But
we can die.
Yeah, we can get it.
Okay. We'll do it. I'll let you guys tell that story. But long story short, I was right up front just fucking rocking out and going, man, these guys really should be playing huge stages. Like, because you just have something cool. It's not, and I'm a metal dude, but I also listen to all kind of other stuff. But you guys write killer fucking tunes. They just get in your head. They're earworms, and you can't get them out. And man, when I bought Blood and Honey, I buy shit every week, like on hundreds of albums in a year.
Yeah.
I have listened to your album endlessly since then. Still do. That's the mark of a great album, number one. Number two, when I did my top 23 of 23 at the end of the year, took us 7 hours to do that live stream because I had like 10 people on. We were all doing our top 23.
Yeah.
We got to number 3. You guys were number 3. I was fucking hammered by that time. And I was like, these fucking guys fucking rule, man. All my friends are going, shut up about Medusa's disco, will you, dude? That's all you talk about. So that's the God's honest truth, and that's my story. So
that's fantastic.
Let's talk about your story. I want you guys to talk, and I'll shut up. So how, where, when does the band start? You two guys are the OGs, right?
Yeah.
So take it away.
But it's a long story, and it kind of probably mostly starts with Hunter and Winton in school, right?
Yeah. That's true. So Winton was the guy who knew us all separately originally.
Yeah.
I
had played in a band previously with him called the Social Oddities.
And you were how old when you did that?
I was like 20.
Yeah.
19, 20.
And he was in high school, Winton. Yeah. But me and Winton had met prior. I was in middle school and he was in high school too. So we kind of had our roots back in Mannheim Central.
I was going to say Central boys, right?
Central, all of us were, all three of us. And then the other original member was just like from the city.
Yeah, York.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
he was from York. Yeah, but he was like, he lived in the city. Yeah, we always said he was from Lancaster. But yeah, so that's where it started. And then so Winton was the guy who knew us all. Now he's not in the band anymore. Now it's just we're the founding members. We met Justin. How many? Wait, you're the
through
fourth?
My dad.
Yeah, through your dad.
Yeah, Justin's our fourth bassist. But
you guys, just to interject, you guys have like the Spinal Tap thing with bass players.
Yeah.
Drummers, right? And has any bass players died?
No.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, thankfully.
No freak gardening accidents. No spontaneous combustion.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, before you get too far ahead,
that's fair.
So you three, and who's your first bass player?
Ty Smith.
Ty was. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's out in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
So you guys connect, and you're just jamming in somebody's basement or garage initially, or what?
Usually my house and acoustic.
Yeah, that's true. It started acoustic.
We were doing
acoustic guitars.
Yeah.
Acoustic guitars, and then I would play djembe or hand percussion.
Okay.
And so we were doing like people's kitchens, cafes, whatever. You know what I mean? We did like an art festival.
Were you writing your own stuff at first, or were you just trying to do covers?
We were always writing our stuff.
Always,
yeah. We originals from the beginning. And then we were going to an art festival in the Marion Court, and we came by Tyler, and we knew him previously from a band he was in called The Mayor's Wife. And
that's a funny name.
He jumped in our car and came to the show with us, and he saw us, and he was like, "Yo, do you guys like need a bassist?" And we were like, yeah, dude. So then we
no, man, we're gonna be the only bassless rock.
Yeah. So we tried him out, and he was great, and then we moved forward.
Yeah.
And our first show with him was at Tellus.
Okay.
With the districts. Yeah.
Open up for the districts.
Wait, what year was that?
2012.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't it, because my daughter's favorite band is the Districts.
Yeah.
Crazily enough. No, I've never seen them, never even heard them, but I hear they're big, right? Pretty big, right?
Yeah, they got real big for like
Lancaster band or no?
From Lidditz.
Lidditz.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got real big there, and they kind of plateaued.
Yeah.
So
you're jamming acoustically initially, then you start to get.
We got a show at the Chameleon.
Yep.
And then we decided to go electric right then, basically.
Pretty much.
And we're all originals again, right?
All originals.
Now this is the show that's on YouTube. You can see. There's no bassist.
There's no bassist. It's just me, Hunter, and Winton.
Yeah.
Tyler was
electric.
there.
And none of those songs are songs that you guys recorded or played.
Nope.
They're all different songs.
Those songs don't exist anymore.
Wow.
That's not our song.
There was technically one show prior to that, but that was it. I think that was electric. That was the one where we technically were like, we showed up acoustic and then decided to play electric
because it was a battle of the bands.
Because it was a battle of the bands. Yeah,
drum solo. You guys were like, there was like a drum solo section.
Oh, there was a Lidditz High School.
It was a Lidditz High School thing, and you guys were just like, bro, like we should try Plugged In. I mean, it's a freaking high school battle of the bands. Like, okay.
So you didn't do prior to that, you didn't do like the talent show thing or anything like that.
No, not us together. No.
Okay.
No.
When did you start playing, Hunter?
I started playing when I was 12. Yeah.
Guitar.
Actually, well, drums first when I was 11 and guitar when I was 12.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was right around 11, 12.
And how about you?
Yeah.
I started playing drums around 7.
Wow.
My dad's a drummer, and so he picked up the Breeze Easy book and a pair of sticks and a practice pad. And when I was 7, he taught me the book, and then when I was 8, they bought me a drum set
That's nice.
for Christmas,
Mhm.
and then that's how I started.
So you guys have had a lot of family support. I mean, that your parents have been super
Totally.
behind.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is,
I
which is
opened up-
killer, right?
I think that's like so
Critical.
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 Oh,
It
yeah.
is, dude. It
Yep,
is.
yep.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, my mom's one of our biggest fans. My dad is too. We've played a couple shows with him too.
And your
'cause
mom's
he
a
was in
fan
the
because I
band.
ran into her at that show.
Absolutely.
back in
My dad
December.
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, my dad was a fan of them before I was even involved with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you kind of know about them then, right? You,
Yeah, I mean, I was seeing them at that time. It was right around 2012 that my dad, like,
It was
that was like
2013 or
that
2000.
was
Yeah.
like you were still seeds.
We
then.
were.
Yeah, we were still seeds. It was
So
like
before the
2013.
Medusa's disco name changed, my dad. So to make a long story short, my dad has a history of being like a guitar tech. He went like with a lot of these like older punk bands, like the Dickies
Mhm,
and
mhm.
Undertones, and he's been the like, guitar tech for them all over the world.
Wow.
And so like when I was growing up in bands, I was in a punk band called the Trakes, and we moved to New York and like did the label thing and like and he was like our mentor during that whole time.
Nice.
So when we moved back in like 07 to Lancaster, and then the band broke up, like it was like a couple years of him just like doing his life, and then he saw these guys and it reminded him of like when we were kids.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I can help these guys, I can help give
Mhm.
them my advice, so he was kind of like their roadie mentor guy
Oh,
for like
okay,
the first
cool.
beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
man.
I remember him being like, you have to come see these guys, they remind me of you guys when you were younger.
Well, now you're a little bit older than these guys.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. How old are you? If I don't mind.
I'm 40, so
You're 40.
I'm about 10 years older than Hunter and about 7 years older than Alex.
Yeah. Okay. So you're an old man.
Yeah, I'm an old man.
You're an old man.
Old
It
man,
comes out.
old man unite.
You got a long way to go to catch up to me, bro.
But
I could be your dad.
so my dad was like, you got to come see these guys. It was at 551, and
Which is Lidditz, right? That was
no,
Lidditz.
that's downtown.
Lancaster, 551 West,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
It's right
that
on
place
King
at?
Street. So
Okay.
it's a great restaurant. We
Right.
actually played there last year
Okay,
for
never been
my
there.
buddy's
Cool.
40th party. But we played this. They played the show. I went and saw them and was blown away.
Hey, was that that birthday party show?
I don't remember
It had to
the
be.
contact.
No, they were a 4-piece then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That was the show where fucking Ty cockblocked you on that beer.
Yeah.
That was that show.
Oh, you were not yet of age.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
That was that show.
bummer. Hanging out with these old cats and you can't fucking drink when you go to the
Well, they said they were
legally.
like, what do you want? And he probably had the opportunity to do the rare have one beer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he never abused it when it happened. And Ty was just like, oh, he's not 21. I'm riding away.
Oh, what a
Yeah.
dick!
No,
What a dick move.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not like Hunter was ever irresponsible.
Yeah,
with
right,
that.
right.
Like,
He just wanted to be a dad.
but I was just
Yeah,
like,
he's scared of cat.
yeah, we all looked at him. We were like, bro.
He's a little scared.
Well, okay, so it's you, Ty, Winton, Alex,
Yeah.
initially, right? And then you start getting gigs, start playing out, and then when was Beautiful Creatures
That was Fork Tongue Fables.
or Four Tongue
Flipping
Fables? I'm
Well,
sorry.
Beautiful
That's the
Creatures
song.
was released on 2 albums. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was released on 2. So
Yeah,
the
the
original
first
was
one was Fork Tongue.
Yeah, Fork Tongue Fable.
My bad. I just showed my ignorance. I have 2 of their albums. I brought money to get more. I swear. Okay, so but yeah, so when is that album done?
I thought that was 2015.
Yeah, that's 15.
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And so, what was the first one? Was that the first one or the?
That was
The
the
first
second.
one's Questioned by a Ghost. That was like 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you
that's
do that all at home?
No, it was all different places.
Yeah, so we did the drums in one day in Tyler's dad's studio. In his
First
basement.
album.
First album. Yeah.
Oh,
And
he
then-
had a studio? Tyler's dad?
Yeah, he had a studio. But we just did the drums there.
Okay.
And we had a friend named Frankie. And we went and did the rest of it in his barn.
Yeah, most of it. I think all of our stuff was done in Barnes and
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's amazing. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Every single one.
even the one that was a nice studio was
Yeah.
still a grind.
And when you
Yeah.
guys when you guys did the Think Loud stuff in York at Live Studio,
Yeah,
the sessions were trash, and you guys ended up coming to me, and
true.
we did it in my
it's true.
studio.
We did it in your dinky little studio and liked it more than the fucking $1 million live studio.
Having to stop recording when people were like playing drums in the other room because there's a bunch of people practicing.
Oh, shit.
Can't have other drums in the background.
All that
during your
bleeding in.
drum-
Oh yeah, that was at my
Dude,
at my
dude,
space.
yeah.
Above the Chameleon, they had
That
this
reminds
practice
me.
space.
Dude, side note, you know that guy who was like that crazy like metal drummer who was always up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, he's at our space.
Oh wow.
Isn't that funny?
That's hilarious.
He
He's
followed
here
us over there.
now.
Not
No.
this one. My other bands,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
solo
okay.
stuffs.
Oh, your solo thing.
Actually, Parker's space.
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Isn't that
Do
funny?
you know who it is?
No,
No, we don't know who
Okay.
it is.
no.
No,
I
I just
know him if it's a local dude.
I just remember him doing blast beats
Yeah.
Oh,
while
shit.
we're like, he's like
Yeah.
up there
They're doing
practicing
acoustic
blast beats.
guitar.
I'll check it out.
It's so funny, dude.
They're doing burrs and drums.
Yeah.
Or something, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Weird, pretty good.
And he was really good. And it was like metal, not like
Okay.
emo,
Yeah,
screamo, like goat sacrificing metal.
So
The kind of shit I like.
Goat Snake and
Yeah, dude.
mayhem and shit.
Job
Like
for
that.
a cowboy.
Hey, so like fucking like slam type stuff. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, like Job for a Cowboy. The one I've been getting into lately a lot has been Infinite Annihilator. I like that.
Oh yeah, you're into heavier shit than I am. I'm a death metal, black metal dude, like mostly death metal and mostly prog metal. So we talked, we bonded over the Rush connection. Did you see my pictures with Kenny and Alex?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you sent me that shit.
Yeah,
Come on.
gloating just a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
you mother.
Dude, look at this fucking guy.
Whatever, I saw him.
All right, so let's
Back into it. Sorry.
Yeah, so we're back. We're at Fort Come Fables.
Yeah,
and that's kind of like the first. Is that kind of like when the first recognition outside of local starts to happen? Not so much when you travel for a couple of short gigs here and there, but is that when people start picking you up more on a
Well, that
wider scale?
was Bald Rob.
I was gonna say, yeah, right at the end of the first album, like we had gotten a couple songs on Under the Radar, or we got one song,
On Under the Radar. Which
Yeah.
was
So what's that?
the 105
Dead in the Morning. Oh,
Oh,
yeah, so,
105.7
yeah,
X.
yeah, 105.7
Got
X.
it. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
they did Under the Radar on Sundays.
which was like local band showcase.
So yeah, we had started forming this connection with Rob,
Bald Rob, yeah.
and then that's kind of how we got that landed fork tongue in a way.
Yeah, so basically
He came in and produced it,
Yeah.
Wow.
actually.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
so
This is
basically
a DJ?
This
Paul
is a
Rob.
DJ.
Yeah, Paul Rob, yeah,
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
DJ. Yeah.
So basically he set up our recording time and a gig, and then basically the gig paid for the recording time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that was the first time we were like
Mhm.
beyond just our like kid, like the regular kid scene that was happening in
garage
Lancaster.
band thing.
Yeah. Like there was a lot of kids coming out to like The Seed
Yeah.
and like Rhyme and Reason and stuff.
Mhm.
But that was like, oh, we're on the radio, we, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 15, right? You said 14, 15?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
somewhere around
15.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, before we move on from that, I kind of want to know, like, what at this point, as you're writing, what are your biggest influences? We already know you're a Rush guy, so you're a prog dude. You also just said you're a metal guy, so
Yep.
you didn't just suddenly start liking metal. That happened for a
No,
while, right?
No, my three main, like my top three favorite bands is Rush, Iron Maiden, and Incubus.
What Incubus? I don't even know anymore. Have they done anything in like 4,000?
Oh, I'm not.
That is a
I'm not-
left.
I saw 'em
that is
open.
a left field one for your
Yeah.
I
turn.
saw him fucking open up.
Like Incubus, like what?
Oh,
way back.
Out of nowhere,
Incubus.
Incubus.
Yeah,
that's
way back.
crazy.
Up
From
at
Meshuggah?
Hershey Park. Yeah, it was POD, Incubus, and also fucking System was there. System of a Down.
damn. Yeah,
I won the tickets, and I went to see Meshuggah basically. But so those
don't
are your
really-
bands.
I don't really like anything after like Grenades when it comes to Incubus, but
The only one I know is what's the big song they had? I wish you were here.
yeah, that's off Morning View.
Yeah, that's the only one I know. So
And Drive, you know Drive.
Yeah.
But what, you were- but-
Tomorrow,
But
I'll be there.
I don't remember.
Flagged.
yeah, you don't.
Video down.
Get this guy out of here.
No, it's
It's
alright.
just
It was
open out.
off key enough. They won't.
yeah, dude, it wasn't the.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. So what? Now you're different, man, because I threw a bunch of names. No, I threw a bunch of names at you as far as guitar players and metal guys, and you're like, yeah. So what are your influences?
Like classic rock.
Like who?
Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix. Especially when it comes to guitar playing, those guys. Stevie Ray Vaughan influenced my guitar playing a lot.
Yep.
But like I started writing music and or making songs, I think because of Jim Morrison and the Doors.
Okay.
He was my songwriting influence.
You're a real classic rock.
Classic rock all the way. Yep. Queen.
All the bands that you think of when you think
every
of the 70s.
Single one, dude. Yeah, all of them. I love them all. Pink Floyd.
And is that the influence of your parents?
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
so they had good record collections.
Your
dad's a Rush guy.
Yeah, he's a Rush guy.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
Thank God our parents had good taste.
Yeah,
dude, my parents had great taste.
Yeah,
that's what my daughter says to me now. She's like, Dad, thanks so much for influencing me, because I'm always throwing shit at her. I'm going, you gotta check this out. You gotta check this out. So
it's
Okay, so you're writing these songs, and let's bring him up. Let's talk about Wynn for a minute here, because you can't not talk about him. He was a big part of the band.
Oh yeah,
he was a very focal part of the band.
Yeah,
totally.
Vocal and focal.
Yeah,
and he's a very fucking good performer, man.
Yeah,
he's good. I don't know about guitar play. It doesn't matter. Comparison's comparison, but he's a force on the stage. You can't not fucking watch him.
Yeah, I would say that is what he has going for him, probably more than anything.
Yeah,
is that he is a good performer.
Yeah,
I know he used to do theater in school and shit.
He lives for the performance.
He did theater and chorus in school.
So and he had a good voice too. I mean, you guys. And what really was cool about you two was you both traded off leads. I think, was he more the lead?
No,
it was
Hunter was always the more lead.
Okay.
As far as amount of solos, probably 50-50.
Everything was 50-50.
But you guys, the cool thing you guys always had was the harmonies, man. You do the harmonies. You don't sing live though, right?
Nah.
But was Ty singing?
Yeah,
that's what I thought, because you guys were doing 3 parts back then, right?
Yeah, we did. We had some 3 parts. A lot of times Ty was doubling, but half the time he was doubling.
Yeah, it was usually just a tight Alice in Chains type.
Exactly. That's what
tight harmony. People hear it and they think it's a 3-part harmony. It's just fucking. It's just the right harmony.
That's the most common comparison, and that's the easiest way to like associate it to something.
What about Black Sabbath? Because I was going to say
on
Fork Tongue, man, what's the big long song? Is it Beautiful Creature?
Yeah, that's the Sabbath.
That's the Sabbath song.
Man. Oh yeah,
it's very stoner doomy.
Yeah,
fucking heavy as shit.
As soon as we wrote the riff, we were like, "Hey, that's really Sabbathy," and we were like, "Are we okay with that?" Yes.
And then the new stuff's Sabbathy too.
Yeah,
the stuff we're working on now.
Oh, cool. Well, okay, so did you take lessons, or are you all self-taught?
No, I was self-taught. Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube's.
Yeah, you guys kind of lucky, man.
We're definitely lucky.
Because it was a totally 100%. Different ball game when I was learning guitar. Man, it was a Mel Bay.
The only thing I would say is that
lessons
is that there is a slight dependency you can develop. Like back in the day, if you didn't have a video and all you had was record to go off of,
use
your ear.
Yep.
So you might actually develop a little bit more of a advantage than players nowadays.
Yeah. Oh.
But if you're learning guitar, once you get good enough, you should learn by ear.
Yeah, you
at a certain point.
Yeah.
You should try to anyway.
Well, yeah, because you're not going to be able to improvise. You're not going to be able to get in an ensemble of other players and do it. You're just going to be that guy that's on Instagram doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're I as a long-term player like that, and I'm pretty good. But because I do a lot of the metal stuff like that, and I do some sweeps and stuff like that. But the thing is, I'm not like some of these fucking kids you see out there that are just it's stupid what they're able to do. And I'm like, how the fuck why? But part of it is it's a lot of my influences too. I'm Shanker, I'm Alex Lifeson, I'm Jimmy Page, exactly. Those guys. So and you train. Any lessons for you, or just dad?
Yeah, just my dad. Basically, he sort of, the way I always explain it is he put me in a boat, gave me good oars, and sent me down the river.
Yeah.
And then everything else I did was just listening to music and playing along to it.
I like that analogy. It sounds like an old man analogy.
Yeah.
It is.
So we're at 2015. You do Fork Tongue, and then what what happens from there, like going forward until you get Justin a couple years later.
Look,
And you have? When did all the other bass players sort of intercede and go?
yeah, so we had the last album with Tyler was Ripe.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
before that was Robin joined the band.
Well, yeah, that was acoustic.
Yeah, there was a whole acoustic album. Like there was a year of acoustic.
What year was that?
That's worth talking about.
What year was
briefly.
that?
Yeah.
You're like, no, it's not.
That was
Nah, I mean, I don't even really see it as much of her joining the band, even though. Did you see it that way?
I think that's the way Ty sees it.
Yeah, but who cares?
yeah.
Ty's not even in the band.
I'm saying, right, so there was an album that was made with Robin, who's
What year
amazing.
was that?
That's all.
2016.
That's the year I saw you at Tellus, because that
Okay,
was
yeah.
the acoustic thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
You either recording it or had just done it. Did you do that in Lancaster too? Right?
New Holland.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the year I saw you at Tellus.
So that's kind of how we met the guy who did Ripe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then he did Ripe
Old Davy.
with Ty, and then Ty bailed,
Yeah.
moved to Colorado.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And then we had Jay.
then we had Jay for a year, and then we had Anthony for a year.
Wow.
And Ripe was the most progressive to that point.
Yeah,
Long songs.
Okay, I don't know
like-
that one, so I'll have to
Oh, you would like that one.
Probably.
Yeah, you'd
Like
like
State of Mind,
it's got one
Atomic
song on
Stabbing,
it, you know.
Yeah.
Beautiful Creatures. It's
Oh,
the,
yeah.
it's the 9 minute. It's the 9 minute version.
It's the long version.
Went back, added stuff, and turned up the distortion.
Cool. And you're all those while you're tracking these guys now for
Yeah.
a while. So
Yeah,
you're-
I remember thinking that.
Are you friends with them? Yeah.
No, not really
you
friends
just
with
watch
them.
them
I would
from
just
afar,
see him at shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember thinking that Fork Tongue Fables, I didn't like the way it sounded. I loved the songs. I was like, I would love to record these guys.
I agree.
Like,
It's
the
a little
idea-
thin.
It's
Yeah.
very thin.
the idea was in my mind back then to work with you guys.
But you guys didn't have a lot of money. I mean, you didn't have.
I mean,
Zero
it still sounds good. It's just a little dry
Oh no, the songs are
compared
good.
to the live stuff
Yeah.
at the time.
Right.
You know?
It's also kids who have no idea how to produce a record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had no idea what the difference between a
How
thin
old-
and a fat guitar was.
How old was Winton in comparison to you two?
I think he's like
He's a little older than you?
2 years older than
A
me.
little younger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in between us.
In
Yeah.
between us.
So and as you're writing, and we're almost to you.
Yeah,
as
just-
you're writing, are you writing as a foursome, or are you and Winton the most prolific
At
guys?
that point, we were foursome, and
Yeah.
like, Ripe was four of us.
Okay.
Yeah. Ripe was
Yeah.
all four. Fork Tongue was all four. And then the only one.
I mean, it's actually Fork Tongue was like a little bit of both.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it was like Q-Bag, Question by a Ghost was mostly, there was like one song that we all kind
Yeah.
of did together.
Okay.
And then all the other songs were ideas
Brought in,
that we modified.
We're 100
yeah,
songs
right.
were Winton songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you worked them up and arranged them as you build them.
Yeah. And then the second album was like some Hunter songs, some Winton songs, and then the other half was just some more co-written, shit.
Yeah.
And then Ripe was like basically all co stuff,
Yeah.
almost all co stuff.
Early on, is it when you're co-writing? Is it just getting together in a jam space and
Yeah.
fucking jamming, and
Yeah.
somebody starts a riff and somebody follows? It's either a bass riff
Yep.
or a
Yeah.
guitar riff, or
It's either that or it's like somebody has like a 30-second riff.
A nugget.
Or
Yeah.
nugget.
some
yeah,
on an
right.
iPhone.
Yeah,
Like,
so
check it out.
they don't bring a whole idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so then you can build off that. Yeah.
Especially now, too. We really
Yeah,
try
that's why we
and go
like to
for
do-
those
yeah.
ideas. We're like, oh, that's a nugget and doesn't have a bunch of
Yeah, we
stuff there.
prefer that.
Like,
Yeah.
you don't have a lot of baggage with that riff? Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring it on over.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just getting back to my daughter.
You're good.
No, you're good.
So, so now we do Ripe and we do, what was the other name?
Well, Ripe and then Ty leaves.
Tyler.
Right?
Yeah,
Ty
yeah,
leaves.
California.
We did like
Or
Colorado.
we did like 2 years of touring. A
Pretty
lot
much.
of touring.
Well, okay, that's what I wanted to ask you about. You're
Yeah.
really starting, your profile for touring is really starting to ramp up around that time. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's right then.
And the
'cause-
band is now like the job. It's the day job, right? More or less.
more or less. Yeah.
More or less,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, we're all fucking
Except
pissed
for
broke.
the money bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're not making any
welcome
money.
to
but-
being a fucking musician.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what it's, the Metallica stories are rare. Let's just be, there's
Yeah.
a million fucking bands that don't make it and
Yeah.
one Metallica. So I mean,
Totally.
that's how it
Totally.
goes. But
It's my
you don't do it for that, right?
Metallica hoodie.
Absolutely.
Tour hoodie.
Nice. You don't do it for that though, right?
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. It's about the
Yeah.
artistic.
Self-expression.
But it does make it nice when you can actually live off.
Well, like you were
Alright.
saying before, like we had well, I'm not there yet, but I lived a sort of a parallel life to them where I was been in bands and doing stuff. And you have to have that support of your friends and family. Like So basically, it doesn't matter if there's money at this point because they're playing shows and everybody in their life is like, you're doing exactly what you need to do. And
Right.
there was the support there. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it didn't seem, and it seemed really cool from an outsider. I remember seeing them right when Ripe came out and thinking that they were the tightest they've ever been. Of course, that was when Ty was still in the band. But then after Ty left and you guys were just like, we're going to carry on. You got Jay and started doing like those long tours that you guys went on.
Yeah. That is what like we didn't record any music when those two bassists were in the band, but we did a lot of touring.
A lot of touring and writing too. We did a lot of writing.
And you've gone to Tennessee, you've been to Georgia, you've been what's the part?
Yeah, as far as Arizona.
Oh
We
wow!
were in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh fucking
Yeah,
shit!
We were in
Far as
yeah.
Arizona.
We went to Texas 3 times on
We
separate
played South by
occasions.
South twice.
South by Southwest.
Yeah,
In
we
Austin?
played-
Yeah, we
yeah, we
felt
played
No
twice.
way, man. That's a big deal.
But it was technically the Red
Yeah.
Gorilla part of it, but it's
What's
still
that
all
mean?
on
At the same time,
street.
they have like a smaller affiliated.
mini
Yeah,
fest. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's in the same town.
Exact
It's
same
like
area.
Anybody talk to
Yeah.
you after
Same
that,
crazy
or
shows.
anybody come up and talk to you, or no?
I mean, we got a lot of.
We I'm trying to think of what
I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about.
we had this crazy the crazy incident. Like we got the Music Fest Godsmack show because
Oh,
we
right.
played that
Yeah, that's right.
one local show in Texas. So what was it called? I can't remember it now.
Oh, that's how you guys
It
got
wasn't
that.
the local. Yeah, somebody saw us. Yeah, the Reverb. Somebody who co-owns Reverb Nation saw us,
Okay.
and then we
Yeah.
got a slot, one of the last slots at Music Fest to open for Godsmack.
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
a year later or something.
that was when I was with him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and you got to play
So
that
you're
show.
you're playing a big stage at that point.
The Godsmack show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was the start of that. Did you guys do much? Because we did a couple since then with like Third Eye and stuff.
No,
But
that
you guys
was
were-
the start of that.
You,
That
but
was
you
the
guys
start
were,
of that.
but
Yeah.
you guys were doing like opening for Kicks and Living Color and at the Chameleon.
Yeah. The Chameleon was the big show. It was like
Yeah.
1,000 people.
Where you get a
Yeah.
local
Yeah.
Yeah.
to open for a big a national.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
we
I
did.
played with you guys once opening for Kicks too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at,
totally.
at XL.
Yes,
'Cause
We-
we
oh,
did
yeah, slightly
XL,
bigger at
yeah,
XL.
Yeah.
Slightly bigger
that was
there.
before I was in the
Probably
band.
2,000 there, maybe. Was it?
Yeah, because Anthony quit and you guys had like 6 shows booked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, okay. so the bass player thing happens. How do you pull this cat in?
Yeah. So we do all the touring. And he said we were still writing music.
Yeah, because we were writing and we were ready
And
to
then-
record.
All
We're
the
ready to
stuff.
Oh,
record.
we got to back up though. Wait, no, I guess we don't. Whitney's still in the band, right?
Yep.
Oh,
He
yeah.
is.
Yep.
Yep.
Still in the band.
My bad.
So yeah, you're good. So yeah, we were touring, but we still had music, and it kind of I sort of got because we were touring and doing so much and going through the member transitions. Now the next album wasn't as
Co-written.
yeah.
Okay.
so it was more Winton and Hunter songs.
Yeah, because you
And
have
it was
time
more
to
Winton.
rehearse.
And it was actually more
Stuff.
Winton, yeah.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
is funny, yeah.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, so we're trying to figure out where to record it, and
I bring up.
Yeah,
me,
it was
and
actually
Alex,
you,
like,
yeah.
we're all in the car and we're talking about it on our way to a show. And I'm like, yo, I mean, Tony, his dad,
yeah,
Tony's been telling me for years that we need to record with Justin. Like, we
Yeah.
should hit him up and see
and
if
at this,
that'll work
at
out.
this
Yeah.
point, you're just Tony's kid. Like,
Yeah.
we have no idea.
Well, but
You're
also,
not even Justin to us
yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Like,
but also,
Tony's kid.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
Max J.
That's what I literally
Yeah,
said,
you're
too.
Max J.
I-
Yeah.
Record with Max J.
and
now.
whenever like they would hang out with my dad, he would be playing them stuff that I had.
Yeah,
done.
Max.
Okay.
I'd be like, oh, you got to check
Check,
this
check
out.
out my son.
Yeah,
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 Which
he's
is cool.
He's
man.
always been a huge proponent of,
Yeah.
of voicing me and everything like that.
Awesome.
But I mean that's worth saying that probably is a factor to me.
It has to be.
Oh yeah.
It has to be, Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, right
Great.
there. Okay, so that's a great point to sort of sidetrack here or sidebar.
Hmm.
You know, if you had parents that were like, "Get a fucking job, cut your hair, go to college," you know,
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't be here.
Oh no,
Absolutely
yeah.
not.
And
By that point, we would have probably been like, oh well, we should maybe it's like, well, Orphic was what, the 4th album or 5th album? Fifth?
If you count the
EP.
the acoustic
We're counting the
one.
EP.
acoustic, yeah.
All right,
That's
so
that's
canon.
5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. By album 5.
And we're
Yeah.
talking what year time frame here? 5 years?
Yeah, we did
Roughly.
Ripe when 2017,
Ripe is 17.
and so
Yeah.
Orphic was 2020.
Orphic was 19. Yeah.
Oh, 19. I mean,
19, yeah, it was the year before.
COVID. Yeah.
Damn. So we were 7 years in, 8 years in. It feels like it. Wow, Time is weird, right?
Yeah.
Hunter's like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm tripping out. I'm
So-
getting sidetracked.
So
I'm
look,
sorry.
at this point, Tyler was really the manager, leading force of the band. Like,
oh,
and
okay.
he leaves. So Winton reluctantly takes over this position, and he's booking all these shows. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
He's booking all these shows. He's sort of like assumed control, and then it just so happens that he had all these songs written. So when you really look at it, it was literally kind of like 50-50 between Hunter and Winton, or like more group written, and then all of a sudden it's like 80% Winton.
Oh, okay.
So then the style of music gets more simple, and because the bassists at the time weren't Tyler,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Tyler brought a
Exactly.
lot of
Yeah,
the
'cause he was
progressive
good, man.
complexity.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So
Incredible.
That I remember.
nothing against, because Jay could play that stuff, and nothing against Anthony because he, these guys helped the band continue.
Exactly.
That's the way I look at
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
And we're friends with Anthony. He runs Threestival, this
Oh, yeah.
music
Okay.
festival we play
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
Tyler, I live in his house, like he's our friend. He plays. He played with us at the show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was talking to him. He's
Yeah.
very. I can see him being the manager, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got that manager chatter thing.
So
Such a manager.
So when I got into the
Oh,
band,
yeah.
I was just hired as the producer engineer.
Oh,
Not-
okay.
not the bass
Oh,
player.
Dude, this is great.
No.
Yeah, this is great.
So Anthony was the bassist. So Anthony lived 2 hours away. These guys all lived together. So we would get together. And dude, at that time, Alex didn't want to even be in the studio. There was
Yeah.
at the most odds I've ever seen any band be in.
Okay, hold on.
Crazy.
So the odds are Winton and you guys. I'm guessing.
I mean,
We didn't look at it that at the time.
Exactly.
But it really was.
Retrospect.
He was doing things to maintain control, which somehow was sometimes meant defragging the other guys.
exactly.
Like, so, you know what I
So
mean?
Well said,
playing,
well
so
said.
Yeah.
playing a little bit of one off the other. Sort.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there'd be a lot of, I do my session with Winton and he's telling me to turn him up in the mix and turn Hunter down. And then I do my session with Hunter and he's like, well, why am I so
What the fuck
down?
is
And
this?
it's ridiculous. So
Yeah.
that was the working relationship. And then we're making this good record. It sounds good to us. We're feeling good on it. These songs are getting down. And then it comes time to do the bass. And Anthony just didn't do his homework.
He didn't get ready.
He showed up.
Exactly.
He didn't have a bass that was usable.
Yeah.
He didn't have his parts written. So
Yeah.
there'd be like, I would be making
So
suggestions.
he just wasn't into it.
Well, it didn't really seem like it.
Essentially.
I just don't know if it was that aspect he was into. I think he just liked playing the shows.
He likes being in the
Like
band.
doing the
Yeah.
live thing, not the
Yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah,
studio.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was probably more in line with like Winton when it came to like being a performer. He
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
more be a performer.
Yeah,
okay.
than,
Yeah.
like,
Gotcha.
A studio musician.
Yeah,
You
then
never
that's it.
see him do that.
Yeah.
So now you're like, hey man.
Oh, what are we gonna do about
just
this?
fucking do this?
No, I was
Oh,
like, what are we going to do about this? I was actually going to suggest one of these guys do it.
Yeah.
And then it was kind of just like, well, why don't you do it? You know?
Yeah.
Now, were you a bass player?
Yeah. I mean, I
You're multi.
I started on drums and guitar when I was similar to 10. My stepdad was a drummer, so there was
Mhm.
always a drums in the house.
Okay.
And my cousins played guitar, so I got
You had that
bass and
natural
drums
thing.
because everybody else
Yeah.
already had guitar.
Yeah, sure.
But I played guitar when I was a kid and everything, so I could do all. And when I lived in New York City, tons of gigs playing bass because
Sure.
that's how I made my money up there.
Dude, playing
Session
bass. I play guitar a lot, but sometimes I love playing bass more than anything.
Bass is great.
Especially fingerstyle, man.
So
It's
I
so
was-
groovy.
I was willing
Yeah.
to just get into it, and I love the stuff he was playing. And actually, I did the bass on Orphic Grimoire without ever hearing the vocals or guitars to those songs,
Yeah.
which is
So you
kind
just
of
heard the track?
Yeah.
yeah.
drums
I heard
and
like
the
a scratch guitar
Yeah.
and Alex's drums, and I
Yeah.
just did all my
Creating your own
parts
thing.
off of that.
Yeah.
Which is
Pretty
kind
cool.
of wild. Actually.
Yeah, I never thought about
I
that.
wouldn't recommend doing that
No,
way,
yeah.
but it worked out in that sense. And then, by the time the album was done, they were like, Anthony had quit, and they were like
Oh,
auditioning
Anthony
people
Well, that's
waited
kind
the
of funny.
process.
It-
in the
that's-
middle of the process.
You guys sort of let him know, hey man,
Dude,
Justin's gonna do them.
we
so,
did.
Yeah.
And that was obviously
And that was the
part-
obvious
Yeah, that was-
moment where
no
he's
one
like,
wants to hear that.
The
Yeah.
light bulb went off. Like,
Exactly.
oh, fuck.
Yeah. So what's funny though after that is that Anthony left. You already knew all the bass parts to the songs.
Yeah.
We continue. We go look for another bassist elsewhere.
Yeah, there was auditions had.
We still had a bunch of auditions.
Yeah.
And then after a while, we're just like, why don't we just have fucking Justin be the bassist?
Isn't
Yeah.
that funny? How that you feel like as a real band, you got to audition.
Yeah,
Well, no,
that is
the
what
obvious choice is right there. Sometimes.
Well, it's
That's
like,
what it was.
look, we had,
Exactly what it was.
it's like, look, we've just gone through 2 in 2 years. Let's make sure we make the right decision.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I get it.
And he
it's-
was cool with it,
Yeah,
which was cool.
I was cool. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know that I wanted it
Yeah, exactly.
because I
That too.
I
You
had
didn't know if you
been,
wanted to go back.
dude,
to
I
that
did bands
life.
and then
Yeah.
I quit that and got married and had kids and then got divorced.
yeah, you had a
Yeah.
whole life.
And then that was like when I got back into music, being divorced.
Yeah,
having-
you were adulting for a while.
yeah. So now it
Wow.
was like, oh, my life, like maybe it, like why not? You know?
You were in a good place for it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, why not? Why not adjust my life now to have weekends available to, you know? And I co-parent 50% with my kids, and the other times I fucking play rock. So
Well, so
it's for me.
and yeah, so I mean, at that point, you're how do I want to get into this? I'm trying to figure out how I wanted to say this. You're basically committing to getting back into being a touring musician,
Yes,
and I mean that is, you know, it's a thing.
but I had done it. I knew I wanted to do it.
But it's
So-
a thing, and
So
you
yeah,
know,
that-
and you guys brought it up, the fact that you guys are pro musicians, but you don't make any money, right?
Yeah,
And I mean that can be a thing when you're like,
Well, I was also getting paid from them to make this record.
okay,
That's true.
right.
so
right.
which is now an expense we don't have because I'm in the band.
So you just do
So
it.
I just do it for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which obviously, so yeah, it was one of those things where that whole lead up, I was getting paid pretty good. And then there was a bunch of shows on the table. So it was like, cool. So then it wasn't until we started playing these shows and then not making any money that I was like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why are we driving? Like, just exactly tell me, why are we driving to this bar
Why driving
2 hours
thousands of
away?
miles?
to like move these pool tables and play three sets and do our own sound? Like, why are we doing this
Yeah.
for $20?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was, you know,
That's a tricky thing, man. I mean, you know, like you probably haven't, you might have heard them, but probably not. But you ever hear the River Dogs?
No.
So I just had Rob Lamont, the singer, on. Fucking crazy. You'd love him, dude.
Yeah.
You would love him. I'll hook you up.
Okay.
He was in all kinds of LA bands from the late 70s into the 80s, played with Robin Crosby and Rat, was in a band called Aircraft. It was like everybody was giving him, you know, $300,000 to cut an album. And long story short, he ends up through hook and crook with Vivian Campbell. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah.
From Def Leppard,
Yeah.
from Dio, you know. Vivian Campbell's outside his Dio Whitesnake gig. And he joins these guys and he says to him, look, man, we got 1 year to make some money. If I don't make money, I got to go. Because he was living in the valley with a fucking, you know,
totally.
with a Ferrari and all that shit. And the rest of these guys are living in some shitty place in LA, you know what I mean? And turns out they put this album out that I'm telling you, you would fucking love. You would love this. Well, all you guys probably love it. It should have been fucking massive in 1990, but grunge comes out, Nirvana comes out, which there's a time with you guys. We'll get to that. And then the album gets buried. Oh, and a new label head comes in and he's like, yeah, I don't have anything to do with this album. Cut your new album.
Yeah,
I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
He didn't want to make that album successful because it was somebody else's watch. He wanted to be the guy that made him successful.
Totally.
The music biz in a nutshell right there. And Rob's doing solo independent stuff. I'm trying to book him in Philly at like Milk Boy and here at Phantom and to do an acoustic thing, man. He'd be killer opening for you guys. But anyway,
Right.
so yeah, it's tough, right? You got to commit to it because you love playing live, you love writing music.
And it wasn't, to be fair, at the time when we were kind of
I'm
like,
gonna get a contact high, by the way, guys. But
Sorry, guys.
it's just a vape. This is a
oh, that's
yeah.
the one. Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, that's nicotine.
Well, I said to Alex, I said, look, because I don't know if he told you, I have some medical issues that are pretty serious. And he's like, I was like, man, I don't think if you guys are smoking, I don't think I'm gonna smoke because I don't want to risk because I just
Sure,
don't know,
sure.
Right? He's like, well, bring your bowl. So I brought my bowl, but yeah. But anyway, so
yeah. So I joined the band. We're doing these shows, and then it's like right around the time things aren't sort of feeling right. Winton books this like massive tour, and it really looks good. You know, he did a good job of that 2020 tour.
Did look good.
And I mean, it's really no fault of anybody's that COVID happened on our second day of tour. The tour was canceled.
Yeah,
Shut it.
We had a great first night at the Coney. We had like, you know, made like $1,000. We were like, we're great, we're good now. You know, we just been, you know, playing for $200. I mean, you know, so it was a big deal.
that was a big night.
And then you know, our van breaks down in Columbus, and then COVID happens, and we
all your money's gone just like that.
to fix the van and to go home. Yeah. And then that whole year happened.
Yeah, or we didn't really get together because COVID.
Well, you couldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody could. I mean, a lot of bands kind of folded, so you guys hung out. But now, so then what? Where do we get to, and how do we get to Winton leaving?
I guess it was right.
21.
It was
Yeah.
after that. It was after the stretch of COVID.
It was January 21 is when he left.
Yeah.
Was
Okay.
it January
Yeah.
21?
So it was right around like Christmas that we were like, stuff happened. He's
Yeah.
always been sort of like pushing buttons and crossing lines, and there was this bad reputation of his acts and stuff that he's done just made us look bad.
Yeah,
And it was like years of this.
offstage behavior.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Let's
there's
not
like-
get into that.
Yeah.
There's like there's,
That's
there's,
what it is though.
There's the
Yeah,
thing
that's
that
what it was.
there's the thing that runs deep, which is that which
Yeah.
we've talked to him about a million times. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's not like it was like left field or anything.
No.
Like,
Yeah.
Just inappropriate.
inappropriate shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
rock
inappropriate.
rock star shit.
Rock star.
Rock
shit.
star.
When you're not really a rock.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah.
not.
When you're
And,
not-
and
and-
still in all, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm old enough to be like those rock stars, a lot of them, and the shit they got away with was fucking not cool.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of it
Yeah.
would be like to our fans. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if all of a sudden,
It's
like
it's
10
like,
fans are not coming.
what's it called?
because
What's the
of something,
saying?
it's like
Don't shit where you eat or something.
Yeah.
It was that basically. He
Yeah.
pissed off a lot of people, and then pissed off us within the group. There was internal bullshit.
and then all this playing
then-
us against each other.
Yeah.
He'd be like, coming to one of us and being like, "Oh, what's up with that guy?"
Oh.
That kind of stuff.
Wild shit. And
Yeah.
then he like decided to move. Like, oh yeah, so we didn't speak because of what happened. We didn't speak for like me and him. I guess you didn't.
There was.
You didn't.
I didn't either. No, I was pretty.
There
Yeah.
was a falling out.
There was
There
like
was a falling out.
there was like
Yeah.
a one big thing that happened.
Yeah.
That was just sort of like
Over
the
line.
catalyst.
Girlfriend
That
bullshit.
was just like, dude, that was not
Fuck
cool.
this. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
So
and
we get together to like have a meeting and talk about it, and he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm moving to Tennessee for a year."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That
but,
was the way
he's like, but you guys can
Do it.
just wait for me,
Oh.
and then you guys
yeah.
put the band on hold, and when I get back, then we'll continue. That'll give us time to like chill out and like
Yeah. Yeah.
let cooler heads prevail. We're like, no, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we made a decision without you.
Yeah.
No, we're still gonna play.
We're a democracy
We're like,
here, and there's 3 against 1.
Like
Yeah.
we agree with
Yeah.
you. You should go.
You should go.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
we were,
Tennessee.
it was so great. We're like, and we're gonna keep playing. He's like, yeah. And we're like, no. And we're like, we're gonna do it as Medusa's disco without you.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you can't.
Yeah, he was like, you can't do
You
that.
can't. And then
I
it
think
was
the
like,
phrase "I am Medusa's disco"
Yeah,
was
literally.
You're
meant to be-
fucking kidding me.
No,
Yeah.
it was.
It was
I mean,
brutal.
and I don't mind talking about it because
It's been a while.
he won't. He doesn't even mention. He won't even mention.
No,
it.
it's okay. Like,
Yeah, you guys are invisible now.
yeah.
And here's the thing.
It's part
for
of
the
our
fans. They have now, because of this, Hunter Root solo. They have Winton existing and Medusa Disco.
Yeah.
Nobody's losing out here, and,
Yeah.
and it's literally the
That's a good
best.
point.
The
Yeah,
best
good point.
output from those projects are happening.
That's a good point.
I mean,
Yeah.
when existing really falls in with how he's good at writing and how he's good at doing stuff.
Yeah,
That's what we would sound like if you
it's
know.
like
what I mean?
alternative psych rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking a lot of noisy stuff.
Yeah,
but,
it's noisier.
but he has a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, he has
Absolutely,
a thing,
and
right?
he's still doing it.
Yep.
and it's
Right.
working for him.
So look, it ain't a shit fest on him. We're just telling
Yeah,
the
that's
reality.
what
of the
happened.
story.
It's true. It's the reality of the story.
We
Yeah.
love the guy. Like, to be fair, I love him
he's a
as
brother.
a friend. He's
Yeah.
a bro. I
We
mean,
just
like,
can't
we
be
were
in a
in
band.
we
Can't
were
be in a
in,
band with him. anymore.
yeah, we were
Yeah.
in the trenches together for years.
That
But
shit.
he
That's not
can't-
uncommon, man.
And then he would do things like go on interviews and just talk shit on us,
yeah, he did that.
like especially me.
I did notice.
Yeah.
I did notice there were some clips out there on YouTube way back when where he would kind of take over and be like, "This is my guitar player.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is my."
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, like,
Yeah.
Well, that's why when we recorded that out, War for Grimoire, like Alex didn't feel like an equal member because
Yeah.
his voice wasn't heard and
Yeah.
this and that. And
I came in, recorded drums, and then just didn't come around anymore.
so we had this opportunity when he left to like
retool the band.
retool
Yeah.
the entire like mythos, not mythos. What's the fucking word? The credo of the band. And,
Yeah.
like, what is our mission statement? What do we
Yeah.
want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And
So I guess the obvious question though is like, at that point, are you thinking at all like we need to get another guitar player?
Yeah, I was gonna say the
No.
best part about it is we had
You right away went into power trip.
Winton actually had gone on vacation traveling
that's right.
at some point, and we
Before all of this.
before all this, yeah, it was like probably a year before he left,
Yeah. Yeah, it was
And
a while.
and us three decided to get together and practice. Just
Without
because we
him.
like, just
And
because we
jam.
like to play,
Yeah.
just jam.
All right.
We were just gonna jam,
Right.
and then we ended up fucking writing a whole song.
Freak out.
We were freak out. Yeah.
And it was pretty much just us. Like we wrote that.
It was.
It literally
Yeah, when
was
the light bulb
just
went
us.
off, you're like, hey man, we can just
Well, it's
Yeah.
because
So,
we had done that.
In
Yeah.
hindsight,
Yeah.
when we look back, or like when the time came to decide, are we going to move forward as a 3-piece? It was like, well, we know we can.
And
we know we can write
without.
good
Well,
songs.
and he would show up late, so we would be working on like Surfin' Billy, which ended up on and like Undertow. Those songs we were working on with him,
Yeah.
but we just had developed so much of the arranging
He
without
was
him
right.
being there because
chemistry was there.
so
We actually
we
had
already
this-
knew that
Yeah.
the three of us had it.
We had this wild chemistry in the room together, actually, that we just, even before he left, we noticed that we didn't have with him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It just kind of started happening where
So-
us three were whatever.
So there was things to rise to. Hunter now had to be the front man, play all the leads, and sing all the lyrics, and then I had to be adequate at doing those harmonies that the band is known
Which
for.
you do great, by the way. I mean,
Okay.
you really do a
You
great
do.
job, and you're a really good bass player, man. I mean, you're very active. You're moving
It's
around
so
a lot,
true.
which is
I
cool.
love it.
Yeah.
It's because of him.
But
That too.
yeah,
I get he makes it so that I can never worry about it if I'm
He's a fucking
overplaying.
killer.
Am I overplaying? No.
you just got so much swing, man. You got so much
That's
move
true.
you're playing.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
That's what.
Massive.
but here's the thing:
That's
when I
what I like.
realized you guys were a 3-piece, like when I showed up at that show, I'm like, wait, there's just 3 of them. Wonder how that's gonna go.
Yeah.
And because it's not easy, man. That is
No,
not
it's not.
easy when, particularly if your older material
Oh yeah.
is centered around 2 guitars and maybe even like hard. You guys don't do like a lot of Thin Lizzy. You didn't do like a lot of Thin Lizzy.
There was some of that.
a little bit, not a ton.
Not a ton.
Yeah,
but
but I mean that would have been very difficult. You
Yeah.
would have had to almost
Yeah.
go, well, we got to do something.
Yeah.
But I was really stunned. I mean, I knew from watching you before, you have that thing that you can be that guy, and a little less. You're less overtly theatrical.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a lot more like just
It's about the playing.
the
Yeah.
dude. Let's play.
Yeah.
Let's sing.
Yeah.
There was like I'm too bound to the microphone
Yeah.
and the pedal board.
Yeah.
It just happens to be how we write music.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the space for me to go out. It maybe a little bit. To go out and like run around like fucking Angus Young and shit. You know what I mean? Like I gotta
Yeah.
be back at the microphone.
Yeah, no, that would be a little
like-
weird.
like-
yeah.
Not to go back on Winton again, but he would go like he would almost put more weight on the performance and
Than
like
the playing.
than the playing. Whereas like when he should be playing parts, he wouldn't play parts.
Or there'd be feedback.
Or there'd be
yeah,
feedback
it's
and
just-
stuff.
the live show
So-
suffered.
So it suffered. We would try to release
Musically.
live music, and we couldn't because there was all this fuzz and fucking
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah, yeah.
Because Winton was like crawling around the stage
Yeah,
doing shit,
yeah.
which looks good,
Looks good.
but doesn't sound
Yeah,
good.
but I mean, I
Yeah.
think in the early days, seeing you guys, it wasn't like that. I think he
Yeah.
started to develop into that rock
Yes,
star.
absolutely.
Correct.
persona.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Very-
was,
Because I do remember seeing in, I think
there was a nugget there.
it was 19.
But
You said the
still
January show,
Yep.
where he's fucking pulling out the devil horns and he's
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
the makeup on,
Yep,
and,
yep,
and
yep.
he's like in the fucking the
Jumpsuit.
tights.
And we
Yeah,
didn't realize
that's
at the
real
time
too.
just how ridiculous that really
Yeah,
is.
no.
It was kind of getting almost to the
Dude, it was like
It was.
line.
We were-
like,
it was,
weird.
Yeah.
And the music didn't really support it.
Yeah.
It was just more simple. It was a weird time.
it was
You
a
know,
weird time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't quite have our footing there, but yeah, we weren't being led well. You know, it was like,
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: who's managing you now? Do you have a real manager, or do you do your own?
I mean, not sort of, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look,
It's still us, but
it's definitely easier if somebody in the band has the, steers is behind the wheel.
Sure.
And it was Hunter for the first like year and a half, and then when things really picked up with his solo stuff, it's just like not even possible to do both. So I started to pick up the slack.
Yep.
And now I pretty much do the day to day, and we have Bald Hippie Productions as our 2 people that were actually fans of ours from Pittsburgh who started booking us shows out there just to see us more.
Yeah.
And then they did so good, and we were getting these guarantees that were way better than even what we're getting here.
Nice.
So we're just like, you guys
Take over.
take over. They
So they're your booking agents.
yeah, it's
Totally.
kind of it's like a collaboration now between you and them.
Yeah.
For
Nice.
the most part.
yeah, but they help out a lot with promo and stuff, and
Dude, just
they're
everything.
they Amy and Andy just
They're
fucking-
awesome.
Yeah.
they're probably watching.
They
They're
probably
totally
are.
gonna watch
Yeah,
it.
there's no way they're not watching.
Rick.
Oh, right now?
I see my buddy Rick, dude. I'm sorry, I had to set up my PC far away, so I can't put your comments up. But I know you check these guys out because I made you check them.
Dude, I forgot we were
I
live
can't
streaming.
read that.
Yeah, we are live streaming.
I forgot all about
I
that.
should be.
Oh yeah, he's talking about early Genesis albums, which is funny because I always thought that's Medusa Disco kind of mirrors that band, which is like when that happened, I'm like, no, dude, it's fine. Like we just switch the singer.
Thing.
Yeah, we just switch the singer. Bands would do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's a lot of bands that do it, right?
Exactly.
How you guys looking on time here? We got maybe
Seems
30,
pretty good.
30 minutes.
My bladder's angry at me.
Yeah, we should wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
but
me
I-
too,
I-
me
I-
too.
I-
Yeah.
That secret, my back.
What-
Teeth are floating.
Bath tea.
Well, let me just
My brain, dude.
let me just
Back
get to where we are now, though. 'cause we
Okay,
didn't really
yeah,
talk
sure.
about.
Oh yeah.
So, Blood and Honey. There's a lot of those songs have been around, like they've been developing, right? Because you've been putting them out as singles.
Yeah.
Over a couple, like 2 or 3 years, right?
Not cool.
Just the last year.
22.
Yeah.
Just last year.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yeah,
23?
Just hyping up to
Because
that.
before that was the self-titled. We decided when we released our
Oh,
first
that's
album
right.
as a
the white
three-piece.
one, the
Yeah.
white black one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We released an album as a three-piece, and that was self-titled. And then that was what we had left over from when Winton left.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
a
okay.
couple other songs.
So all the Blood and Honey stuff was all new.
Oh yeah.
Three.
Well, like this actual song "Blood and Honey" was like an old song of
Oh,
Hunters that
super
never made it to the
Okay.
forefront.
2015.
Pulled out of
Yeah.
mothballs. Then.
But I think everything else was
Keep
pretty
Your Cool is
much
another old one too, right?
no. Keep Your Cool. I wrote like 2 years ago.
I fucking love
Yeah,
that
there's some
song.
of that.
That
Like,
song, man. So
Oh, thanks,
good,
man. So yeah, this one was like you'd have the odd song by me and the odd song by Hunter, but it was
Yeah.
mainly collaborative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like most of the songs were,
Yeah.
and even like a song like Round She Goes, which was like mostly me. It changed so much when you bring it to these guys. It's
Sure.
like, I don't even consider that. And then Hunter wrote all the lyrics to it, so it's like
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to ask you: do you write the lyrics to your own songs, or you let him do it?
I mean,
since he's
it
singing?
goes both ways.
Oh, it does.
like
Okay.
like with Round She Goes, we just had the nugget. I had
you had
I had Round She Goes, Where It Stops Nobody Knows, and then
Yeah.
the basic chords and the riffs.
Yeah.
And then we just put it together.
what is your influence on that song, man?
I mean, that's like AC/DC, fucking ZZ Top. I
There's
mean,
that whole right on there she goes. It's almost got like a fucking like I don't want to say Beatles, but it's got
Yeah.
that.
oh well, I mean, they're one of my favorite
This-
bands.
I
so
mean,
it's-
yeah,
it's gonna come through.
it's got a little bit of
Yeah.
a Beatles thing.
Yeah, that's gonna come.
everything
But
he
it's like
does
with
has the
AC/DC
Beatles, a little bit of
riffs,
a
yeah.
Beatles feel.
Yeah, I can't help it.
You can't
I'm
escape it.
I'm a
It's in your
Anglophile
DNA, dude.
with my music line.
My favorite line, my favorite lyric is on the first song, Blood and Honey, right? When you start doing and you're like, out. Do you know the lyrics off the top of your head?
Yeah, I
the
think
first the first verse. How's it go?
There I go, crawl back in my bed, satisfy that ache in my head. There I dream in endless bliss, wake up feeling extra fucking pissed.
That is the best line of the album right there.
Yeah.
Wake up feeling extra fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And the way you deliver it's like, wake up feeling extra fucking pissed. I
Yeah.
mean, man, that is just so fun, man.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an oldie.
Sets up the angst of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what kind of feedback have you got on the album other than me raving about
Good
I'm-
question.
Yeah,
it's all been positive.
It's gotten the most streams and the most traction out of anything that we've done. And I don't know, we just it's funny because you almost don't know. You
Yeah.
know, it's
it?
like
Yeah,
we can
you
only
throw it out there.
yeah,
Beyond
we
the
just try to make the
streams,
best thing we can
yeah.
make.
Right.
And like we tried to make it like every song was good and strong.
It is. That
So-
album is fucking soup to nuts, beginning to end.
Yeah.
It's fucking so good,
Thanks, man.
It's
Thank you
so
so
good.
much. Thank you. dude.
That
And
was
I-
really
like I
cool.
said, I'm a metal dude, right?
Yeah.
So I typically, that's not that I don't like this kind of music. I clearly love it, but it's not something I would actively go search out.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it was like I said to you, give me that one, man. And I put it in driving home. I'm like, fucking hey, man. Every song on here is a banger. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
the hell, you know?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it means a lot.
So what's going on now? Like what's
Well, we're
What's
actively in the studio right now doing our next album. We're working on a side length song because that's just always been a thing we've wanted to do. You know,
Yep, milestone.
a milestone to make a fucking 18 to 20 minute song.
nice?
So it's kind of carrying in the vibe of Perseus from the last record.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most like I mean I wouldn't call it metal, but it's like
Heavy.
early Rush, fucking
Yeah.
Present Sarah Zeppelin.
Oh,
Yeah.
So it's got some heavy guitars on it.
Yeah, there's some
Fuck yeah.
Sabbath influence.
Fuck yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's-
heavy and proggy.
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely
awesome.
yeah.
Nice.
So that's what we're working on now, and we have a handful of songs. So we're just kind
for
of
the other side.
working on the
Yeah.
new album, and
You got a bunch of tour dates coming up, right? You, like end of the month, beginning of March.
yeah,
No.
we're decently good in March, April, May and June, like sort of the next few months, we've got some festival stuff coming up, and the only local show we're playing so far on the books this year is in the end of May at Zootropolis. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, right.
I'm gonna try to hit the Baltimore show, which I think is that later too, or is that late? That's like late March.
Yeah, that's the end of March.
In fact, it's March 31st, which is my fucking 58th birthday. So if I come down, you guys will have to be like, that guy, that old guy over there, man. Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's the day before.
Dude, okay.
It's the day before Easter.
Yeah, it's my birthday, so I'll check that out. Philly, I might even try to make it out. My buddy Rick, who's on here, got to get him out because he's going to dig it.
Philly will be cool. Yeah.
Do you have a pretty good following down there?
Well, our stream wise, we do. We just haven't, like, since the Winton thing, we haven't really rallied back because, you know, you kind of need to build these, you need to build it up. And we've been building out Pittsburgh so well that it's like now we're actually trying to move our focus to Philly more. So this will be our first time back there in a couple of years. So we definitely look forward to trying to hit that market more.
And you said you don't want to oversaturate Lancaster because just playing here all the time would be.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You don't move forward.
You can't.
Yeah, it's not it's a treat. It's an event for our fans.
I mean, like,
we play once
you
or
never,
twice.
you never want anybody to say we can just go see him next week.
Yeah, and like, what's even around now? I mean, the Chameleon's gone, right? So you got Phantom Power, you got Tellus.
Yeah,
what else?
I mean, where we're playing in Zootropolis is pretty cool.
Wait, where's that?
It's downtown Lancaster, by the or like Orange Street by the Sunoco.
Really nice taco.
Water Street. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a big old movie theater. If you look online, some of the last live stuff we did videos on YouTube are from that place. When we did our 10-year anniversary that live album we just released, that was there. So it's a cool place. We'll probably film there. Probably try to get some of these Blend Honey tracks live there. That'll be dope.
Fuck yeah.
When do you have any idea like how far out in the future the new album's going to be? Do you have a
it depends.
Date, like when you'd like to get it?
No, it really depends on like when we can promote it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll probably have it done before we're able to promote it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it's really just a matter of like because Hunter's doing his thing.
Now everything's more complicated.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. So we should touch on that very briefly, and then we'll wrap up.
Sure.
You have a solo career, and you had something kind of cool happen, like what, late last year?
Yeah, or early last year.
So you put a single out that kind of fucking blew up, right?
Yep, that went viral
on Spotify.
Everywhere, dude.
Yeah, everywhere, I guess.
Okay, everywhere.
Yeah, on Spotify it has 3 million streams right now. It's got 3 million.
Town Hall Rat. No,
Town Rat Heathen.
Town Rat Heathen. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard one to remember.
Yeah, and so you got a lot of material out as a solo artist, mostly in the kind of. I'd say more acoustic realm, a little bit more countrified, maybe not country, but more like old style country.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah,
and Towns Van Zandt and shit like that.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, he's the man.
All the guys' links are down here. All your stuff.
Cool.
I just put Mr. Mom for you.
Mr. Mom, you got
Drums and Mr. Mom. I think that would work. Right?
Stay home dad life.
Stay home dad.
About it.
And so we're going to play a song here at the end in about 2 or 3 minutes that I really think people should listen to. You guys know, if you watch me, I drunkenly played a bunch of their shit already. And I didn't get those taken down that I know of. So we'll see what happens. But Hunter, you play locally much or what?
Not too much right now. This year I'll be touring way out. Hopefully. I know there's I don't know where I'm booked right now. I'll be in Tennessee and Virginia. And
where are you going in Tennessee? Going to Nashville?
No, what is it? Marysville. I don't know. It's hard to remember. If you want to check out my show, it's just hunterroot.com.
Yep, I got all that thing there. I got all your links.
I can't remember my shit.
I
don't remember any of my shit. That's why it's on the calendar.
But real quick on going back to the Town Rat Heathen thing.
Yeah.
I saw a video, I think it was on your Facebook, where you were flown out to LA.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, we can. Yeah, when it first happened, or when I first went viral.
I'm making these guys suffer. They got pissed.
Yeah.
I'm about to just crawl.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna crawl, bro. I'm just gonna crawl. My bad.
But yeah, when Alex, go ahead, interrupt the podcast.
No, you can walk.
Interrupt it. We're live streaming.
Just because you're a bladder, man.
Pisscast.
Pisscast.
Maddie, if you're watching, pop on real quick. She will.
Yeah, so went viral. Got an email. I forget how long it was after. It might have been a couple weeks, maybe a month. Got an email from Atlantic Records offering to fly me out to LA. I hit them up and they're like, try to get me out the next day. I was like, no,
Holy
I can't
shit.
fucking come out. I can't come out tomorrow. I was
Wow.
like, no. And I was like, damn, they must be pretty serious. And then, so I flew out there, met with the 4 A&R, like 4 heads of A&R there. We were like all in a room together. We all listened to the song and shit. Talked to me for like, we sat there for like 30 minutes and talked about like where I came from and what I wanted to do. And then that was pretty much it. I went home and they kind of like left me on like the ultimate cliffhanger, and like I was in a group text with them, and then slowly over time they were just like somebody who you like. It was like a relationship where you liked the person and they stopped responding.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
They were ghosting you.
they ghosted me tough.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah, and then I ended up hitting up I ended up working. I used to work with Kid Rock's ex-manager
Okay.
to help try to clean up to help keep up.
See what's going on.
Like, can you
Yeah.
talk to these agents for me? Or again, I was like trying to make it all work. I was so oriented towards the label and everything.
Can you say what label?
Oh, just Atlantic.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah,
You said that,
but I got hit up by Warner too,
Yeah.
and Sumerian Records.
Yeah.
I know they're metal.
Yep.
Like I got Ash's phone number, Ash Alberton.
No way.
Yeah, he hit me up like 3 days ago, and he would like text me on a number and be like, Hunter, and then I'll be like, yo, we gotta talk, and then he won't say anything else, and I'm like, dude, these people are impossible to talk to.
The ultimate bullshit where it's
It
like,
is.
let's get together sometime in like 14
Dude,
years.
it is. So like, dude, I just stopped fucking caring about all of it.
Yeah.
I did. I got jaded from it, and so I invested in my own recording stuff again, bought my own mics and shit, and like I've just been
But
like.
did you say in
But
that,
now it's like I got.
didn't you say in that video they wanted you to dress a certain way? And...
Yeah, they did. It wasn't. That was the manager I was working with at the time.
Yeah.
That wasn't Atlantic. That was just the manager.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
But it was all focused towards that.
Yeah.
Focus toward image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sounding and looking right for the records or the record label and that industry. It was just horseshit.
It's fucking weird,
It's
man.
horseshit.
It is.
Crazy. How do you feel,
The
dude?
road is littered with a lot of really broken, fucking dead dreams of people that
Yeah.
think they're getting into the, I want to get that big recording contract. And
Yeah.
then they get in there and it's just a fucking machine that eats you up.
It is.
So
It is. Yeah.
Staying true to the vision
Yeah.
is tough because you want to make some money out of it. You want to
Yeah.
be able to live, not necessarily be fucking Joe Rockstar, but 'cause
Sure.
that doesn't really happen much anymore.
No.
The days of that giant rock star thing are kind of over, more or less.
Yeah. It is. It
But-
really is.
But
Even-
just to make a good buck and tour and live comfortably is hard because you
Yeah.
got fucking all this vertical integration from Live Nation where they own the venues and they fucking set the, and they take all your merch, 30-40% of your merch. It's just rough, man.
It is.
So, Justin, you have some stuff out there too. I have some links for Gray Shields.
Oh yeah. So like,
Dude, I gotta go. Chris. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Hunter's turn. Nice.
No, it's good. So I've always wrote. I've always been a songwriter.
Yeah, you got a lot of weird
Yeah,
stuff.
I make
It's really
rap
over
and all
the
kinds of
rap,
stuff.
Yeah.
And like the "Keep Your Cool" was like originally a Gray Shield song, for example. So like that's definitely more of like the Beatlesy side of my songwriting. But
Yeah, listen to some. It's good stuff.
oh, thanks, man. But to speak to quickly on what Hunter was saying,
Mhm.
so like when all this happens, who knows what's gonna happen to Medusa? So,
Yeah, are you guys like, fuck, man? What's?
Oh, we were definitely sweating because you never know,
Yeah, button.
And the thing about it is, to speak to Hunter's credit, like he always has wanted to do both, keep both bands going.
Sure.
So like this year, there's a lot of time in the beginning of the year for us, and then he's going to take some time to do. So it's like there's been this the dance will need to happen to keep both afloat. So you might be waiting a little longer for the next Medusa record, but
It'll come.
it'll come and it'll be
But here's
good.
the thing. I mean, like, in all honesty, if he got that giant shot, realistically,
There's no way that hurts us
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say is,
if we stick
if
together.
you love the dude, though,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like,
Oh, yeah.
you got to do what you got to do. Bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was
Because realistically, if it's you or it's you,
Yeah.
if Getty and Alex call you up and go, "Hey, Alex,
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, that was
join Rush," you're gonna be like,
Well, that's what the sweat is.
Yeah.
That's really what the sweat is. It's the fact of like, that, and then also, but I'm still screwed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah. You're thinking about yourself. And
A little bit.
You can't not.
But you're also
You can't
thinking about him,
Yeah.
or the other guy.
Yeah. So it's always that balance, and it's just like, yeah, of course.
Because typically when like lead singers go solo or something like that, that's when shit starts happening in the band that's bad.
Yeah.
Unless you're so fucking huge like Maiden with Bruce Dickinson or
Yeah.
well, look at Priest and Halford. They split and Halford went and did Fight and then he went in solo and they weren't around for all.
If I
Bruce
come back to
Dickinson.
Genesis here, Phil
Yeah.
Collins goes big.
yeah,
And then now all of a sudden, and there's good things to
That's
that,
a
which
good
is
one.
the exact same thing that with the Genesis thing is that now when we get together, I'm writing my songs, he's writing his songs. We can get together and do our songs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's like it's less like with the Winton time and the Winton days,
You're
it
right.
was like I have my song, like I need to get it on. You know, now
Yeah.
it's like there's not that. It's,
you don't have that kind
we
of.
really can
tension.
do what we do well, which is to create together.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's
Collaborate.
if as long as you look at things the right way, it's like there's room enough to do all this music. You know what I mean? We want both things to flourish. So
Yep.
it's like we're doing that. So nobody needs to worry about that. You know.
Awesome. I want to check out before we leave. I want to check out your guitars, man. I want to check out your gear. I got it. I'm a
Yeah, you
gear-
can check it
I'm a
out.
Gear nerd. So,
Yep.
All right. So listen, man. Fucking Medusa's disco. I kid you not. These guys. Hold on. That's my daughter probably saying, "I don't want to come on. I'm embarrassed." She's not embarrassed though, man. She's gonna observe. Send my love. She sends her love. Maddie, say hi, Maddie.
Hi, Maddie.
Love you, Maddie. I'm gonna play some of
I can
the
feel it.
songs for them. Go check medusasdisco.com.
Yep.
Go to Bandcamp for Medusas, for Justin, sorry, for Hunter. Man, you got some cool fucking solo shit too, man. Like,
Thanks, man.
what's the song where you're in the grave? You get going in the grave.
Quicksand sinking.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's the Towns Van Zandt like vibe on
Fuck
that
yeah,
song,
fuck yeah.
for sure.
That's a sick video. Joel.
Yeah, it's a cool video too. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, and you know the funny thing is, for the video where you're doing the orb thing,
Have you on my back? Yeah.
Heavy on My Back.
Yeah.
That's up there in Bainbridge, up above Bainbridge. At the,
Oh,
I
yeah.
used to live in the neighborhood right
White
across from where
White
the White
Cliffs.
Cliffs are, man.
Yeah,
That was a 45-minute hike in a drum set.
Oh, that's
in the fucking armpit of
It's
summer.
hot as hell.
well. The good thing is though, now there's the
Thank God it was worth it.
the
It's a
Bike
good-looking video.
path.
Yeah, it's a path.
that never was. That was
Oh,
all
shit.
fucking 20 years ago. That
Yeah.
was not there. In
Yeah.
fact, right by across from the White Cliffs. I don't know if it's there now, but is there some ruins of like a
Yeah.
factory thing? Okay,
Yeah.
that was there back in 2003 when I moved up there. I used to go over there and climb to the top of that thing, get stoned, and which was stupid as fuck because the thing was janky as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it
It's
was like
brittle. Like,
big old factory from the 30s, man, where they did. Yeah, it was like a brick kiln.
We did a bunch of photos.
yeah, we took photos there. Yeah.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first trio photos were there.
Yeah.
Who knew about that place? Who knew to go up there?
I knew about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I'm sorry. So yeah, go out and check these guys out, man. I'm telling you, they're fucking great.
We
man.
do a podcast too, Van Brain.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we do a
right.
We do it
podcast.
here in
In
right
this-
here.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
studio.
So
So
you
yeah,
guys just rap on tour life and
we just
tour-
recreate the silly chemistry we have in the
Shit.
band.
I think half
Inside
the
jokes
time these guys talk about video games, dude.
Yeah, I'm a huge video game guy.
Yeah.
He's a huge video game guy. So
I just
Yeah.
news on that. I don't know.
I sneeze a little bit. I video game, but not as hard as these guys.
I'm an old
Nah.
man.
He's
I
the
don't-
most. He's the most.
You guys gotta understand. When
I listen to music mostly.
yeah, I'm the biggest gamer in the group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love video games. I grew up with them.
So 1976, the first Atari
Mhm.
2600, is it or was it? Or something?
I wasn't
He
sure.
knows
the
new
Pong.
games.
Beep.
See, I know NES and above.
Nah, this is pre that shit.
I started with the NES and the PC.
And we had to go out to the arcades when they had real cool arcades, not
Oh,
the
yeah.
shit that they have now, like Defender and Galaga. But I always went out there hoping to get laid. I was hoping to check. Never happened, but that was the sole reason. for
Isn't
me.
that why any guy goes anywhere?
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Did we say that out loud?
Let's end there, right?
Yeah. But yeah, man. So, well, first of all, I want to thank you for making this happen, man.
Oh, no worries, man. Thank you for pushing. We were just busy, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you kept pushing. This
So
was
we
fun.
get it. We had the holidays in there.
That's fun.
all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
a lot of fun, man.
And yeah, there's tour dates on
MedusaDisco.com.
Do you know when the first date is? Like
The next
third?
gig we're playing is the
March?
1st of March in Huntington, New York with NJT. And
Is
then,
sick.
yeah,
Who's that?
you guys, this is this trio that they met on at South by
South
Southwest.
by, yeah, South
Back
by
in
Southwest.
those.
Yeah, New York band or
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
from
Northeast
from
band?
up
Long
there.
Island.
Where are you going? Off the top of your head, like
We're just going
any
to
major.
We're going there, and then we'll be in Philly the next day, and then at the end of the month, we're doing a little run up to Hard Rock in Philly, and then back down to Baltimore.
So you're not going up to like Boston or up
No.
to Newton, Northeast?
No.
Not yet.
Not too high. No.
And you guys just have a van you rent, or what do you do?
Hunter's got the van.
I bought a van.
Yeah.
I bought a van with that fucking viral stream money.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what do you mean? Oh, the from
Yeah.
the Spotify thing?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like brand new van or a? I was gonna say, man, like viral stream. Like I always hear the shit from.
The fact that
He's doing all right.
I was just it was a
That's
tiny brag, but yeah, it's the first time we've owned a van.
That's nice,
Yeah.
man. You can fucking.
Oh my
can
god,
you
it's
sleep in
it's
it?
definitely the most crucial thing
We
Yeah.
haven't slept in
to
it.
us taking.
What did you
I
do
don't think we'll
before?
have
Did you just
to
take
do
a
that.
fucking car?
We would borrow somebody's van or like.
Oh,
A lot of it was
So Jay and Crick. So our second bassist Jay, him and his girlfriend, now wife, ran a festival, and she basically bought a 15-passenger van off of her dad,
Oh, okay.
who is a construction worker. He
And then you
moved
just rent
out of-
it from them.
Yeah, we
or
just
borrow it from them.
we would just use it.
It was-
he would
yeah,
come
we
on
just
tour with
borrow
us.
it.
And then when I joined the
Yeah.
band, it was this girl Amanda who does merch for us.
Oh yeah.
She would just drive us everywhere.
Yeah,
Do
you would
merch
drive
for
us
us.
everywhere.
That's right. That's
You know
right.
the funny thing about that brings up a really funny point. When dudes moved out to LA to get into the hair metal era and shit like that, it was always the women that they were with that like made the bands actually happen. So it was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was always like the girlfriend or the chick that they were sleeping in the closet with, sleep like, oh, we own this 1-bedroom apartment in LA and there's like 4 people living in it. Like, as I know dudes that did that back in that day. Like,
Yeah,
they-
Amanda was just a really good fan. and,
Yeah,
like a
they
friend.
really wanted to help out.
Yeah, and she was like, I get to go to these shows for free in festivals, and you
and
know,
stuff. And
so she was just
Yeah.
willing to.
yep.
Yeah, and then she did merch too.
she does merch still to this day when she's available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah,
We love you. Shout out Amanda.
Amanda.
There you go. Yeah, so check the links. If they're coming near you, get the fuck out and see them. Rick, we're going to see these guys. I'm just telling you, if I'm still hanging.
Yeah, Rick, we want to see you, bro.
We're going
We
out.
See you, Rick.
We're coming out, and you're gonna fucking be like, "Whoa, these guys are killer." Anything else we want to pimp or talk about?
Just thanks for having us out.
Yeah, thank you, man.
We're gonna have some. We're actually tomorrow. We're releasing a single.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention
Yeah.
the Nirvana thing.
Yeah.
Talk about that real
Well,
fast.
we've never done covers. We've never been able to agree on one.
Mm-hmm.
And we did this Who tribute set a couple years back, but that was about it. So basically, we were doing this Halloween show, and we decided let's do a cover. And honestly, dressing like Nirvana with us guys wearing flannels and shit, it was just easy. It was
Oh, this
easy
is a
time.
video. This is a video.
This was just us to play a show.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a
Halloween show.
it was a Halloween show.
Okay.
So then we were like, oh, if we can do a Nirvana song, and then we actually found the song "Breed" that we all liked.
Yeah.
it really works well with his vocals because it's
Totally.
very. You're not Cobainish, but you're Cobainish. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That song in particular,
Yeah.
where it's kind of you need that little affect that you have with your voice, which you have a very unique voice.
Thank you.
I didn't want to get
A lot of
into
people
it
say that.
too deep, but it's a very different. It's a different kind of voice in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
The way you sing, it's you have a lot of vibrato in it,
Thanks.
which is cool. Natural
Took a
vibrato.
long time to get there.
Yeah, and it's kind of take this the way that's meant to be. It could be a voice that some people would be like, I'm not into that. You know what I mean, like a Geddy Lee voice,
Absolutely.
like right. So Geddy Lee, a lot of people are like, well, this
Yeah.
guy sounds like
I
a
used to get
chick.
that even worse. Like when I was younger, I used to get that a lot.
Yeah, but it's I think it's such an infectious voice when you start locking into the songs. And how good
I
the songs
love
are.
his voice.
I do
Yeah,
too.
so do I.
Like when if I write like a couple times I've written a song and had Hunter do it. It's just so it's like the best thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't have to like try to make this good on the vocals. Like,
Sometimes
he just do it.
you've written songs with my voice in mind.
Yeah.
And I go to sing it, and it's just like butter.
It's
Yeah,
funny how it works.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's so good that you guys are in a great place. And I mean, like I said, seeing you guys in December, I was like, fucking hey, man, I got to get these guys on the show somehow.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
man.
doing it.
Yeah,
Made it
Good
happen.
guy. Seriously, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna switch over to the song. I guess we'll play the whole song and then we'll wrap it on that. Is that cool?
Cool. I'm gonna go piss.
Do your thing and we can just kind of
Yeah.
chit chat a little bit here.
Can't talk right now. I'm making piss.
Oh shit! Hold on. Hang on. Sorry, I did not answer any of the chat stuff. I just didn't. It couldn't happen with the way we were set up here. And there's the song, and we're gonna just do this, right? No, any of them more clearly than Is the bad the ugly?
Oh yeah.
Is the movie like all
Nice. What else rocking? Something's broken. I'm gonna make that song. That's what we talked about.
Probably interesting thing about this song, when we recorded it, I did. I feel, oh wow, I've already played.
From the labyrinth of the mind, you walk upon the shore. When the mirror meets your gaze, read the mortal score. To the golden garden lead me. It says to take the guys. No. Oh, darkness of the evening. This illusion is mine. No. Cry out for the grace of God. It's not their will to tip the odds. Mirror watch you light the way. But it's not my time day. For it is my hill to climb. But it's cause touches the sky. Turn against the setting sun. Night is where my battles were. sleeps but doesn't dream. Beauty not bestowed, just a wicked scheme. No, the gravity of time, the swiftness of the heel. The turning of the tide, the catching of the steel. No.
Hey, that was, what was that song?
Perseus.
Perseus from Blood and Honey with Medusa's Disco. Want to thank everybody that hung out all day today with us, or however long we were going here. I don't know if Hunter and Justin,
They in earshot?
did you guys bail? You want to say goodbye?
No, we can say bye yet.
Yep.
I don't know. We can, whatever. You
Signing
don't have
off.
to. Yeah, we're gonna sign off here. So
Goodbye.
yeah, check out Blood and Honey, man. Just pick up a copy. It's $10. Or if you go to a show, you buy fucking Starbucks coffee for $7 now, man. Get a fucking great rock album. Crank that fucker loud, man, because it's that kind of album, right? It's just a cranker.
Careful if you're driving.
It's a cranker, man. You'll be headbanging. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap here.
Thank you.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
You shall see you.
Woo! Rock on, everyone. Rock on.